Give me your phone. I'm shutting it off.
Here goes the next one. Yeah. What are you gonna do? It's called being the parent, buddy. My truck in my name. Yep. I paid for it. Yep.
Give me that phone.
Tonight we're learning more about the months leading up to the death of Charity Powell Bialis and her 2 young children.
The 3 deaths were reported on Wednesday in Bonanza, which is south of Fort Smith. Court records outline a domestic violence case and a divorce filing earlier this year.
5 News reporter Bo Russell is here now with a closer look at that timeline. Bo?
December 3rd, 2025, Bonanza, Arkansas. A welfare check reveals 3 bodies, a mother and her 6-year-old twins, all shot in the chest, then the head. 1 day earlier, that same mother sat in court, finalizing her divorce from a man she'd been running from for 9 months. Now here's where it gets dark. This wasn't his first wife to die under mysterious circumstances. Girl, make it make sense. When the clock strikes midnight, the truth comes out. I'm 12 a.m. crime, and every single day I bring you real cases of domestic violence that turn deadly. The stories the system tried to bury, the victims who deserve justice. If you're about that raw, unfiltered truth, hit subscribe. New case drops every day at midnight. Don't sleep on justice. This is 12 a.m. crime. Charity Powell was 40 years old, a Christian woman, a mother to her son from a previous relationship, and twin 6-year-olds with Dr. Randall Bialis. But before we get into Charity's story, we need to talk about Randall's first wife, Shawna. Whitney Chavez, Shawna's niece, has been vocal about what she believes happened. She says Randall was cheating on her aunt with Charity. When Shawna died, Randall and Charity got married quickly. Within weeks of Shawna passing, Charity had moved into the house and was driving Shawna's car. Shawna's family got 0 of her belongings. But here's what really stands out. Whitney says Randall added a suicide life insurance policy on Shawna just months before she died, with only him as the beneficiary. Whitney was clear about why her family believes Randall got away with it. Quote, "The whole reason he got away with it with my aunt is because he was a well-known doctor. We had so much evidence to prove he did it, but that didn't matter because of his name and money at the time. So that's the foundation. A man whose first wife died under circumstances her family found deeply suspicious, a man with money, status, and a medical degree that seemed to shield him from consequences. And now he's married to Charity." Fast forward to February 16th, 2025. Charity called the police. She reported that Randall assaulted her inside their home. According to Charity's father, Randall choked his daughter in front of her children and drove her down the steps. Randall was arrested. He initially faced 4 charges, but ultimately pleaded guilty to 1. 3rd-degree domestic battery. 19 days later, on March 5th, Charity filed for divorce. She wanted sole custody of the twins and wrote that there had been a history of violence in the home. Charity reached out to Arkansas State Senator Terry Rice for help, telling him she feared for her life and her kids. The senator said, quote, "If it hadn't been for him, she'd have probably been dead now, but Senator Rice done everything he could." In July, the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Unit received a child maltreatment allegation against Dr. Bialis. By August, Randall appeared before the Arkansas State Medical Board. He said, quote, "Well, I do want to be forthright with you, and on Saturday, I received a certified letter from the Arkansas State Police that had the finding that of abuse, with or without physical injury to both children. We are going to appeal that based on the children's statement that my mommy told me to say this, otherwise I would get in trouble. And that was witnessed by the first investigating officers." Randall was claiming Charity coached the children to lie. The medical board tabled the discussion. In October, Randall pleaded guilty to third-degree domestic battery. By fall 2025, Charity had filed for divorce, was seeking sole custody. Her husband was a convicted domestic abuser, and there was a child maltreatment investigation ongoing. Her family says she fought for 9 months to save her life and her babies' lives. The divorce settlement would have benefited her. A house was supposed to be sold within 60 days. She was getting her new BMW, $10,000, and half the property earnings. Tuesday, December the 2nd, Charity and Randall appeared in court for the final divorce hearing. Charity walked out of that courtroom that day. Wednesday morning, December 3rd, police were called to do a welfare check at Charity's house. When they arrived, they found Charity Powell Bialis and her 2 6-year-old children dead inside. All 3 had been shot. According to the family, this was execution style. Charity's brother, John Powell, said Charity was shot through the chest and then in the head. Them babies were shot through the chest too. John said, quote, "That means one of them babies had to watch the other one, or however it went down." Charity's father, Randy, added, quote, "Or maybe they watched their mother die, and then they both, and then one of them got to watch the other die." 6-year-old twins witnessing these final moments. Randy Powell said, quote, "She would have fought tooth and nail, which is why she may have been shot twice to protect them babies. I know she went out with a fight." The Sebastian County Sheriff's Office started investigating, but has been tight-lipped. No official cause of death released, no suspects named. Just a statement that they're not ruling anything out. Randy Powell described the communication breakdown. He said, quote, "I had to contact the sheriff in another county that I know through high school to get him to even confirm that my daughter was dead. They would not even confirm to me that my daughter and grandchildren were dead." Thursday, December 4th, the day after the bodies were discovered, Randall and his attorneys filed a motion to dismiss the divorce that would have given Charity financial security. John Powell explained the motive. Quote, "Lupa Auction was supposed to sell a house within 60 days, and she got her new BMW, $10,000 and half the earnings that the property bought, which would go to him with her dead. Now he gets to keep that, plus her insurance she had on her life insurance that he had on her. He's the only one that had anything to gain. With Charity alive, Randall loses property and money. With Charity dead, he keeps everything and collects life insurance. The same pattern Whitney described with Shawna.
The damage is done.
It's been 2 days since tragedy struck the Powell family.
If I could, I'd give my mother a big hug and look at her in the eyes and tell her I loved her. Hold my baby brother and sister one more time, like I did the first day they was born. Tell them I loved them. I'll do anything I can to protect them.
All that's left is the idea of what should have been.
I would just love to hold my daughter and my grandchildren in my arms again and verify my love for them the way they loved me.
40-year-old Charity Powell and her 6-year-old twins were found shot to death in her home Wednesday morning, just 1 day after Charity's final divorce hearing.
She shot through the chest and then in the head.
And them babies are shot through the chest. That means one of them babies had to watch the other one, or however it went down.
Or maybe they watched their mother die, and then one of them got to watch the other one die.
John and Randy Powell say despite the Sebastian County Sheriff's Office not releasing any details, nor whether there is even a suspect in the triple homicide, there's no doubt in their mind who pulled the trigger.
Randall Bialis, he's a powerful and evil man. All he cares about is money and himself.
There was nobody else in the world that had any reason to harm her or those babies but him, and that was only for financial gain and for the hatred that he had.
Court documents reveal the violent, intense months leading up to the divorce between Charity and her then-husband, Randall Bialis. Charity was a victim of domestic violence at the hands of Randall. He pled guilty to a charge in October. Charity had also filed for custody of the two twins, as well as an order of protection. The day after they were found dead, Randall filed for the divorce to be dismissed, a deal the Powells say would have benefited Charity.
Looper Auction was supposed to sell the house within 60 days, and she got her new BMW, $10,000 and half the earnings that the property bought, which he would go to him. With her dead, now he gets to keep that, plus her insurance he had on her, her life insurance that he had on her. He's the only one that had anything to gain.
John Powell, sitting at the left of that kitchen table, was Charity's son, a half-brother to the twins.
Charity was my mother that loved me. I know she did. She had a heart for them babies.
Christian woman.
She was a good Christian woman that was baptized a few months ago. Them kids was precious, real precious. They were innocent.
Sitting to the right, her father. Together, they're the only two Powells left.
One moment I'll be crying, and the next minute I'm mad, and I don't even know how to explain it. I never expected to ever have to go through something like this in my life.
They say up until the three were found dead, Charity did everything she could to survive.
My mother fought for 9 months, the last 9 months, to save her life and them babies. Nothing happened. Now all three of them's dead. She would have fought tooth and nail, which is why she may have been shot twice, to protect them babies. I know she went out with a fight.
I promise you.
Now, all they can do is fight for justice and try to protect themselves.
Well, I'm scared to death for my life at this point.
And that life insurance policy, the suicide policy Randall added on Shawna months before her death, with only himself as beneficiary. Now Charity's dead, the woman Randall left Shawna for. And just like with Shawna, there's a life insurance policy with Randall as beneficiary. Just like with Shawna, Randall stands to gain financially. Just like with Shawna, the family believes he's responsible, but he faces no consequences. Two wives, both dead under circumstances their families find suspicious. Both deaths financially benefiting Randall. Both situations where his status as a doctor seems to shield him from accountability. The most dangerous time for a domestic violence victim is when they're trying to leave. Charity knew that. She told Senator Rice she feared for her life. She wasn't overreacting. She was reading the situation accurately, but the system failed her. Randall pleaded guilty to domestic battery in October. By December, he was free enough that 3 people ended up dead. There were child maltreatment allegations, serious enough for the state police to recommend registry placement. And still, he had access. Still, he had opportunity. Dr. Randall Bialis isn't just any abuser. He's a well-known doctor with resources and attorneys who can file motions the day after bodies are discovered. Whitney Chavez said her family had evidence Randall killed Shawna, but it didn't matter because of his name and money. Now Charity's family is saying the same thing, pointing at the same man, describing the same pattern. And once again, no. This is what it looks like when power and privilege intersect with domestic violence. The rules don't apply the same way. The investigation moves at a different pace, and families are left traumatized, grieving, and terrified.
Well, 5 News is learning tonight Dr. Randall Bialis went before the Arkansas State Medical Board 2 months before pleading guilty for 3rd-degree domestic battery. There's an ongoing investigation into the shooting deaths of his twin children and estranged wife, Charity Powell Bialis. Dr. Bialis has not been named a suspect or person of interest in this case that is sparking attention nationwide. Newly obtained documents show the Arkansas State Police Crimes Against Children Unit received an allegation of child maltreatment in July that accused Dr. Bialis, suggesting his name be put in the Child Maltreatment Central Registry. We also obtained files containing complaints from concerned citizens and others giving him praise. During an August State Medical Board hearing, Bialis addressed the board about the domestic abuse he later pled guilty to.
Well, I do want to be forthright with you. And on Saturday, I received a certified letter from the Arkansas State Police that had the finding that of abuse with or without physical injury to both children. We are going to appeal that based on the children's statement that my mommy told me to say this, otherwise I would get in trouble. And that was witnessed by the first investigating officers.
Now, the board tabled any discussions after Dr. Bialis made that statement and has not taken action. Again, this all unfolded in August. Right now, there's no update regarding Charity or her children's deaths.
Charity's story doesn't end with her death. If this case disappears into unsolved murders, if Randall walks away like Shawna's family believes he did before, what message does that send? It tells every domestic violence victim the system can't protect you. It tells every abuser with money that consequences are optional. It tells families their grief doesn't matter as much as protecting powerful men. Randy and John Powell are the last of their family, living with survivors' guilt, rage, fear, and knowledge that the person they believe murdered their loved ones is still out there. Randy's scared to death for his life. That's not paranoia. That's rational after watching your family get killed with no accountability. Senator Rice was right. This case needs eyes on it. Public attention matters. When cases stay in the spotlight, it's harder for them to be swept under the rug, harder for investigations to stall, harder for powerful suspects to make problems disappear. Shawna's family has been trying to get justice for over 12 years. They've been saying Randall's dangerous for over 12 years, and now Charity and her children are dead. How many warnings does a community need? How much evidence does a legal system need? How many women have to die before money and status stop being a shield? Charity fought for 9 months. She did everything right. It wasn't enough. The twins were 6 years old, innocent, and they're gone. If their deaths don't result in justice, then we've failed them in death, the same way the system failed them in life. This is 12 a.m. Crime, and this is the story of Charity Powell, her twins, and a legal system that couldn't save them. Remember their names, Charity Powell and her 6-year-old twins. They deserved to live. They deserved protection, and they deserve justice.